and welcome back to the channel for another video for you guys. Simon Side of Football. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Be much appreciated. And one subscriber away from 50, my first milestone. Been doing this for a couple of weeks now and I've really enjoyed it. Giving you guys content. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So two friendlies today. So we got Wickham at home, at Hotspur Way, and then we're away at Luton at 3 at Kenilworth Road. So two games for you where I'm going to do a match report and let you know, guys, who I thought stood out and who did play as well, and you know how the game went. So I'll do that report tomorrow for you guys. And we played last week against Reading, our first game, which we had a 2-0 win. It was a good defensive display. Played well in the second half going forward. I thought the attacking in the first half wasn't quite there, but it was the first pre-season game, so you know it's going to be a bit rusty. So I expect a bit more today, hopefully. And then we go out to our tour early next week, where we play Arsenal, I think next Thursday, and then after that will be Newcastle, and then Bayern Munich before we come back. I was hoping we would have had a couple more players in the door before our tour, but that doesn't look like happening. Gibbs White is still dragging on. He's gone out to Portugal now with Forest. I expect him to. I think they're playing this weekend, so I expect him to play. But I still expect we get Morgan Gibbs White. This happens. I remember when we had Harry Kane. He was there pretty much all pre-season before he left. Gibbs White wants to leave. But he's been professional, and which he should. He's under contract at Forest, but I believe the deal will still happen. So there was a few bits of news. Mikey Moore has come out and said he would like to go out on loan this year because he wants to play week in, week out, which I think is good. I think that will be a good thing for him, good thing for Spurs as well, so he can develop. I know Bayern Munich. I know Borussia Dortmund are interested. I think that would be a good place for him to go to because they're very good with their youngsters. They give them minutes. They give them chances, so if he's going to be good enough, he will play. So, they brought Bellingham through, like Sancho when they were young. Gittins as well. Now we got his big move to Chelsea. So yeah, I think that would be a good move. I know West Brom are interested, where Mason is now. So that'd be another good move for him. Maybe not as high a level as Borussia Dortmund. Why I keep saying Bayern Munich? Bayern Munich on my mind. I don't think it'll be as high a level as, well, it won't be as a high level as it is at Borussia Dortmund. And then I think Burnley are interested. So there's a couple of clubs interested. I think all three of them would be good moves, to be honest, for Mikey Moore. So we'll see where he will end up. But I believe he will go out on loan probably in the next few days, or maybe after the tour. We'll have to see there. And then Millwall are interested in Alfie Devine. They want to buy the player. I'm not sure if I think if we sell him, it'd be good to have a sell-on clause, a buyback clause. I'm getting all my words mixed up this morning. It'd be good to have a buyback clause on him, or if not, a loan move will be another option. But yeah, it looks like Millwall are really interested in the player. It's a shame none of these other players like Basuma or Richarlison, that no one's really coming in for them, because it's really sort of stopping our transfer in there, because we have come out and said before we could get like a Palhinha, we need to get rid of a midfielder. So we'll have to wait till probably sell a midfielder before we get the number 6 in. I did hear that news that Manu was injured. I don't know. I only see a report on X on that, but I don't know how reliable that source is. But so maybe that one is out the window now, because I knew he was interested in Manu from United. But I think Palhinha is probably the leading candidate. But I think it's more of a loan Spurs want if we get Palhinha. And then there's the other option of Douglas Luiz, who didn't turn up for training for Juventus the other day. He's really pushing to try getting out of Juventus. So that's another option. And then I believe Sonny will probably end up leaving as well after the tour. There's a lot of noise about this. I think it's the right time. I said in my last video, he won that trophy now. He's been at Tottenham for 10 years, been a great servant. But will Spurs replace him? For me, I think they have to. I don't think we can just go in the season with just Tell and Odibert, and especially if Mikey Moore goes out on loan. We need someone with a bit more experience, or someone on that left side, because I think we'll be a bit short if not. I know there's been interest with Garnacho, Who else was there? Grealish is another option for a loan deal, which I think Grealish would be a great shout. I think he'll be a very good. He might not get as many goals, but he draws in a lot of fouls. He holds up the ball well. He brings players into play. He's good with that final ball. You know, he's a sort of Spurs sort of player. He likes to get stuck in as well. He works hard. I think Grealish would be a very good player. I think the wages for him, because he's on around 300k a week, I think we'd want City to probably contribute a little bit to that. So we'll have to see. I still think that would be difficult to do, but I do believe City are looking to try getting him like a move or out on loan or something. So there's an option there. And Garnacho, I think, would cost probably around 40 million. Garnacho, he's one of them. I think under the right manager, which Thomas Frank, I believe, would get the best out of him. When he's good, he is very good, but he's inconsistent for me. And really, I want a player who's going to be a bit more consistent. But maybe under Frank, he will bring the best out of Garnacho. And if he does, then he will be some player, because one of these days he's very good. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I do think that will happen probably after Sonny has gone. So I think that would help happen later in the transfer window. There was reports, obviously, of Zabanya and Scalvini as centre backs. I don't know if we really need a centre back. I don't think that's the most important place we need to get a player at the moment. I think a number 6, like a left wing, a striker, or a left back is probably more where we need players at the moment than we do at centre back. But we'll see what Thomas Frank wants to do with that. So you know, I was hoping we'd get a few more players through the door before the tour, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen now. You know, the season, it's going to be a hard season. Like, top 4 will be difficult this year, especially with Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City all improving massively with their squads, like a lot more than anyone else has, and they were the top 4 last season. So I think them 4 will sort of run away with it. But teams like Newcastle, who could lose Isak to Liverpool. Isak wants to leave. I know they will strengthen, but when you lose a player like Isak, they're probably going to have a little bit of a drop off. Villa are not improving. They've lost a few of their players who were on loan there last year. And you know, teams like Brentford, Bournemouth are all losing their bigger players. Brighton as well have lost a couple of players. I know they invest in their team very well, but I expect teams like that to drop off, and I don't expect Spurs to be finishing 17th again when they have Thomas Frank there, who's going to coach the players. So Tottenham are going to improve. I do still think we need some players to, you know, like a left-sided player and a 6 to really improve. But I don't think tops, you know, 7th, 6th, maybe 5th we could sneak into if we get these players in. Is not out of the question this year, especially with the teams dropping off, you know, like Brentford are going to drop off, Bournemouth. You know, I don't expect them to have as good season with the players they're losing. So, you know, I do think around 6th, 7th, 5th could be a good, you know, a good finish for Spurs this year. I think top 4 will be out of the question with how much the other 4 have improved. I really do think them 4 will run away with it. But then the Champions League, we've got that to consider this year. You know, it's going to be very hard in there as well, trying to get through to the knockout stage. And then we got the 2 cups, so we definitely need to get a few more through the door if we want to fight on all 4 fronts this year. I'm excited for this season with Thomas Frank. I'm excited to see the 2 friendlies today and see how we get on with them. Like I said, I will do a report tomorrow for them 2 games, let you know how the games went and what I thought and my opinions on the games. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow in the next video. And come on, you Spurs.